everyone, and welcome to Off the Cuff. Liverpool have just claimed the Asia Trophy with a 2-1 win over Leicester City. Another nice step in pre-season. A little trophy for Jordan Henderson to lift there. Just literally watching her on the telly as we speak. Everybody's gone away on this Saturday. I don't know where they are. So it's just me and Craig today. Craig, did you watch the game?
Absolutely, I did. I had to say I really enjoyed it, Gav. I'm not one for pre-season games. I've said it many times. They don't do anything for me. But I was into this one. I have to say, I really was. I enjoyed it.
Martin Tyler and Andy Townsend were certainly into it, weren't they? They were definitely sitting behind their mics with their Leicester City jerseys on them anyway.
Well, Andy Townsend, I'm just want to check up to see if he's officially representing Barcelona in contract negotiations with Coutinho, because he wouldn't shut the fuck up about it the whole game.
Yeah, no, and Martin Tyler is just like, he was willing Leicester to score, and any little half chance or tackle, he was nearly calling for penalties and everything for Leicester. Like, the two twats, to be perfectly honest with you. But look, we'll get on to the game. Fairly strong lineup Liverpool put out. But then again, when the subs were coming on during the game, you didn't kind of look and go, oh, that week, and just, there was a nice mix of players throughout the game. But first half started, it was a decent opening from Liverpool actually, but Leicester took the lead with a goal from Slimani, and we were caught napping a little bit, and that header at the back post again done us, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. There's two ways of looking at it, I suppose. We should have cleared our lines. We had a chance to clear beforehand, but then the ball broke out to Fuchs, I think, down the left.
It was, yeah.
Who floated the ball to the back post, and well, look, Slimani against Milner, and Slimani had the run on him. There was only going to be one winner there, but it was a good goal from Leicester's point of view. We had a chance to clear, poor defending, but you're right, we did have a great start. The lads were sharp, moving the ball around fast, high tempo. I was really impressed, but I was even more impressed at how we reacted to going behind. But as you said, bit of an iffy goal, could have done better, but it was a good goal as well, to be fair.
It was. We were caught napping a little bit on the right wing. I think Trent was just 5 yards too far forward when the ball broke. It was a decent reverse ball, and Fuchs has a decent left foot on him, and he knew what he was doing. He wasn't lashing it across goal. He was floating it in there because there was a big open space at the back post, and Slimani will beat most centre halves with a run on them, and so he'll definitely do most left backs. I don't think you could blame Milner. He tried his best to get up there with him or put him off, and Carrier's got a hand to it. But it was a bullet header, in fairness. But like you said, the reaction was great. No, we just got back on it. We got playing. We kept moving it. I don't think you can underestimate the conditions over there. Extremely hot and humid. Like, you could see, I think it was Wes Morgan. After 20 minutes, they stopped for a water break, and Wes Morgan looked like he was going to collapse. I was going, that lad is in serious trouble. But in fairness to him, I think he played most of the game, if not all of it. But no, we kept going, and one of the balls that was very very open for us, and we utilised it a good bit, was that ball from the centre midfield to the right wing where Salah started, and that's where the second Air Force goal, the second goal of the game, came from. A good ball to Salah, a little bit of interlink. He gets interchanging play. He gets the ball into Coutinho. He makes that run in behind. Coutinho finds him. Fantastic goal.
Yeah, it was, and I'm just looking back through my notes here, and it wasn't the first time that link up between Coutinho and Salah happened. It happened earlier on, I think the 10th or 11th minute as well. They had a bit of a warning, but as you said, the ball was there the whole first half onto the right wing, whether it be Trent or Salah. Yeah, look, the goal there was a suggestion of handball about it, let's be fair. It did bounce up and hit him in the hand, but everything after that was just magic. Beautiful ball out to Coutinho, who does what Coutinho does best, makes people look silly. Chips a nice ball through, and a Salah header. It was just weird to me. That header was almost in slow motion. I was sure the keeper had saved it, and then all of a sudden the back of the net ruffled. But have to say, I'm over the moon for Salah to get a goal, and he's just exciting me so much, Gav. Like, every time he gets on the ball, you feel go on, take him on, and he doesn't let you down. He goes for his man every single time.
Yeah, and you see, he goes, and I said this to you last week. He goes for his man in different ways. He'll try to go inside him and attack him, or outside him. But then what happens is, when he squares the ball, especially to a player that's, say, 25 yards out, it's his running off the ball then that's frightening. Because if you watch that goal, it's into Coutinho, and most players would just stand and admire or pull back out wide or not be fucking interested, because the ball's going to be switched again to the left-hand side and not come back near him. But he makes Coutinho's mind up for him. The ball comes into Coutinho, he literally runs his studs across it, and there's Salah, he's gone. And you can see the arm coming out pointing as if to say, just put it in there, and Coutinho drops a lovely ball in. And the header did look a bit strange because it was coming from behind them. It was a looping pass, so it's hard to put power onto it and direction when you're putting everything into it rather than letting the pace of the ball work for you. But look, it was a quality goal, and it's something I look forward to seeing because it's something we didn't do enough last season. Although we did play well, those runs, and I mean proper, piercing runs in behind the fences is so crucial, especially when teams are deep lying. Like Leicester were at that time. Leicester sat back and were looking to soak it up a bit, but we broke them down, and that's 1-1. And the first half, I thought there was a great pace to it, even right up to the end.
Yeah, just going back to Coutinho, he was getting his eye in earlier on, wasn't he? He was looking for this all day. By the way, he had a shot from distance early on that Schmeichel saved handy enough, and he looked in the mood for today. Coutinho, it was really interesting to see what we're going to see next season, and this is without Mane as well. We have to remember. So that front 3-4, it's gonna just. I know we say it every time. We've said it a few times, but the options that this gives Klopp and the headache that this is going to give defenders going forward cannot be understated. Because we're talking about Salah here, but Mane as well. On top of that, I wouldn't want to be defending against those or planning to defend against those.
And like you said, Coutinho had his eye in, but you see, that's what Coutinho's all about. He makes that little bit of room for himself, or he finds that pocket of space, and all he wants is options. And I don't mean static options that there's a fella standing out on the right wing or left wing. He wants a guy to go, I'm going in there, and he'll go for it. He will go for the passes. 9 times out of 10, he'll go for the pass. He won't bottle it over and swing it back, to a left back or play it off, square to a right back. He will look for that ball, and that's why he's so crucial in there. But as I said, the first half went on. I'm trying to be positive as I can about most of the players, but I have to talk about Divock Origi, right?
Oh yeah, I have to talk about Karius as well, so I'll let you go first.
Okay, well I'll talk about Origi, and then you can respond and go straight into Karius. We moved Firmino out of his best position today to facilitate Origi, and we ended up not getting the best from Origi and not getting the best from Firmino. This has to stop. And I know it's pre-season, and I know people are getting, it's only pre-season and they're only getting fitness. I fully understand that. And look, if we'd have lost today, I would have just done this pod. We lost the game. How do we do? And went about my day. But you still have to look at tactical things we're doing. And Origi he's just non-existent. He's absolutely non-existent. Now, Firmino tried his best on the left wing, and a few good touches, and he broke away a couple of times, and he turned the full back and stuff like that. But Origi done absolutely nothing in that 45 minutes of football, and he didn't even look like he worked hard to justify him trying to be fit.
I'm not going to lie, I forgot he was on the pitch. For most of that first half, I absolutely forgot he was on the pitch. Now, what you said makes perfect sense. Switching around to put Origi through the middle and putting Firmino out on the left, it's not great. I would have understood it perhaps if we were looking at Sturridge through the centre, because maybe Klopp was seeing if he's giving himself options for next season. But as you said, Origi, as much as we don't like to knock any of our players, he's just not shown that little bit that you'd want, is he? He's maybe a 1 in 4 striker for me, and that's just not going to be good enough to lead the line for Liverpool Football Club in my view. And yeah, I think I've said this to you a few times. I think Origi will turn out to be a very, very good footballer in 3 or 4 years, but just not now. And I don't think he's gonna make it at Liverpool. But I wouldn't be surprised to see him go on and have a great career somewhere else.
Yeah, that could be true. But like, even we're talking about Coutinho getting his eye in, and if you watch every time Coutinho gets it, there's 2 people moving, Firmino and Salah, and Origi isn't. Like the amount of times Firmino gets a ball 10 yards and 15 yards inside the Leicester half, he turns and he's looking. You want Origi pulling off the shoulder or making a dart and run in behind, and he just wasn't doing it. But look, I always feel like I'm giving out about him, and I don't want to be too harsh on him, and I don't want to feel like it's a vendetta, so I'll move on. It was just something that really stood out for me in the first half. Karius is the one that stood out for you. I felt sorry for him on one occasion, but on another couple of occasions he did look a bit he just looks like the nervous player that was there a year ago or 9 months ago when he got into the team, whatever it was. But you're looking at him, and I think, are you thinking the same? Are you thinking he just doesn't look like he's progressed, or he looks a little short of confidence?
I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, where's the keeper that I was watching in the Bundesliga for 12 months? He just doesn't. He looks a shadow of the player now. To be honest, as you've said, our defenders weren't helping him out a lot of times today. What Matip was doing, sending that ball back, but then what the hell Karius was doing, not just, if he's trying to stop it from going for a corner, fair enough, but at least put it out for a damn throw. Said he knocks it straight to Leicester, and only for a poor touch. I'm not sure if it was Albrighton or who it was, but it was a poor touch.
It was Vardy, I think.
That would have let Leicester in for another goal. And then second half, similar thing again. But what really annoyed me the most, and this annoys me with a lot of keepers I see, Leicester got a free kick right on the edge of our box. Karius lines up his wall and gives Leicester the right hand side of his goal. But when I say gives Leicester the right hand side of his goal, I think he was standing about 1.5 to 2 foot away from his left hand post. He gave Leicester the entire side of the goal. There was no hope. If that ball got over that wall, there was no hope that he was saving it. And this is something that frustrates me a lot with goalkeepers, because yes, the wall has to cover a side, but give yourself a chance. Just be a slight bit off centre. Small things like that I noticed about him. Now, he's quick off his line. I've got to give him that one. He beats Mignolet hands down in that department. But as you said, what we used to, and what I personally said about Mignolet a lot of the time, was that he caused nervousness, and you could feel it in the stadium. And every time the ball went to his feet, you can feel it. Well, look, I'm going to put my hands up and say that seems to have stopped with Mignolet, but unfortunately it's still there with Karius at the minute, and it's harder and harder for me to make a case to defend Karius these days, because I've been trying to defend them. But look, it is what it is, and fingers crossed he progresses as the season goes on and we see that goalkeeper that we've seen in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, no, you're spot on. The defenders didn't help him out sometimes, but he does look nervy. He came off his line a couple of times in the first half and cleared well. He had the ball in his hands at one stage in the first half, and he was looking and looking and looking, and he decided not to throw it quick. And I looked away from the telly for a little bit, and when I looked back, the ball was coming out of the sky as if it dropped from the moon. And it was still inside Liverpool's half, and I was like, how is that even possible? You know, he had the ball in his hands, you know, not 5 seconds ago. I heard the commentator saying it was a bad kick, but I didn't believe that because it was Martin Tyler anyway. But he done better in the second half, but then one thing near the end stood out. Their young right midfielder, I think his name is Lawrence, and got the ball. He put a ball across the box, and it was there for Karius just to come out. It was on the 6-yard line, come across and just take it. And he just stood and watched it going across the goal, and I thought, that's worse than coming out instead of avoiding the corner and, you know, miss-hitting it to Vardy. But look, you never know. A couple of games in pre-season again, going to Germany and stuff like that, he may pick up, you know, just get in the groove a little bit. But I think it's Mignolet's short 100% for the new season, going on the evidence so far. Mignolet didn't even have to play today. That's how sure he is of, you know, the short, in my opinion.
Do you know what I loved, Gav? Do you know what I loved about that first half? Kloppo losing the plot at Bobby Madley. Yeah. Loved that. Yeah. I don't care if it's pre-season. He was all up Bobby Madley's face, and let's be honest, Bobby Madley's a gobshite. Yeah,
he deserves it.
But it was great to see Klopp up in his face, even in pre-season. I love stuff like that. Same way I love Grujic being a bit nasty last week, or on Wednesday against Palace.
Yeah, it's an intensity by Klopp that has to reflect itself on the pitch, then on the players, you know, and that's what he demands. But you're right, Bobby Madley is, you know, he was nearly hesitating on booking Mahrez for trying to take Coutinho's shirt off his back about 10 minutes before the half-time whistle, when Coutinho made a laugh of him. But we go into half-time 2-1 up because of Coutinho, and another stunning goal, a really, really stunning goal.
I'm just literally looking at the replay over here now, Gav, and he knew what he was doing the second the ball was... He hadn't even touched it yet, and he knew what he was doing. He sets himself. And people know what he's going to do. Defenders know what Felipe Coutinho is going to do, but they can't stop him. He just touches the ball off, pushes it a little bit to his right, steps across, and whips a beautiful strike into Schmeichel's left-hand side. Not a hope from to save that one. And as you said, fantastic goal. Worthy of winning a match, a tournament, a trophy, whatever it is. But God, I love that little Brazilian. What a player.
Yeah, I thought it was a good thing though. There was some good play before it. It was a ball into the box. I think Firmino tries to take it down at an awkward height and ends up getting it to Coutinho. But like you said, he knows what he wants to do. He comes inside. You think he's going to shoot, and he takes that extra touch. Give credit to Moreno as well. He makes a good run outside that drags a few people away and puts a bit of doubt in their mind.
I don't know. I think he's seen something in the crowd that he liked, and he was just off for a wander.
Yeah, he probably did. But the thing is, no, he did. He made a decent run. I have to give him a little bit of credit. But you see, the problem for defenders is, yeah, we know what he's going to do, but if we step out too far, is he going to do something else? Is he going to play that extra runner in? It's so unpredictable. He has so much quality that if you get tight, he'd probably do it another way. If you don't get tight, he's banging her into the top corner like he did today. And, Sky can mention as many times as they want about Barcelona and stuff like that. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong, but I don't believe it for a minute. I just don't believe it for a minute. I think Coutinho saying all the right things. I think it was 5 times put out a tweet. I think it might have been yesterday after this supposed bid, and basically said Coutinho to Barcelona ? Not from what we heard from him last night. He wants to stay at Liverpool and win trophies. Trophies for the fans. So
when you don't see a Grizz can double googly eyes, he's safe.
Yeah, if a double googly eyes from Grizz can comes, you're in trouble. Sorry, I should have really commented on this before. I listened to that pod last night. It was very good. Grizz is a great character. And
the people's ITK, Gav.
The people's ITK, but look, I think anyone listening to this needs to know that Grizz is steadfast in his information that he's getting, but he's also there that he can take, a little bit of, not abuse, a bit of heckling, which he gets in bucket loads from anyone to do with the Anfield Road Wolves, and trust me, he gets it in bucket loads. But he's well able for it, and you'll hear him on the Woolcast on a Monday, and we restrain the ITK stuff. We don't really go into it. But last night we thought we'd give Grizz a half an hour to go all Twitter Grizz on us rather than podcast Grizz, and it was really, really good. Anyone listening should go and listen to it. But look, we get into half time 2-1 up. Now the second half was a bit of a damn squib, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's always got to be broken up with the substitutions, that isn't it?
Yeah, it was going to be broken up with the substitutions, and as well as that, the players that remained on for, say, played 65, 70, they were getting a bit tired, so the tempo kind of slowed down. The one thing that stood out for me in the second half, early on especially, was how open Liverpool's defence was. They didn't seem to know where each other was. They didn't know where to step out, stand back. Vardy got in behind a couple of times. I don't know whether that's...
Clava made a great tackle, to be fair to him, to stop Vardy.
He did make a good tackle, and I thought Karius actually got out well to stop Vardy on a ball through the middle, but I don't know whether you go and worry massively about that, or is it just pre-season and they're not completely switched on. In my mind, it's a little bit of a worry. But were you looking at it thinking, Jesus Christ, we need Van Dijk?
Gav, I've been looking at it thinking, Jesus Christ, we need Van Dijk for about 6 months now, and just that calmness that he brings and the reading of the game, it's just, look, we could go on all day about what he could bring to the team, and fingers crossed things go our way and he becomes a Liverpool player. But look, we have to be respectful to Southampton here as well. He's a Southampton player at the minute. We know what's going on there at the minute with his training situation and that, but yes, he will be an amazing addition to the team. But there's one part of the second half we'll get to in a few minutes that I hope you don't rob me of, but there's one part that stood out for me, and you know what, I'm really looking forward to talking about this lad.
Go on then, because I don't know what I'm going to rob you of. I watched the second half.
This lad's your lad. You've been bigging him up for a while now.
Yeah, I know where you're going. But I looked at the second half, and when you're kind of staring into the distance, I was nearly looking beyond the television. My eyes were kind of glazing over because there was a couple of nice moves. There was good control football. Henderson looked good again, controlling things, and he must be walking, since he was out injured, he must be walking on that ball from right to left, or left to right, all day, every day, because he seems to have it perfected. But go on, I'll let you run with who you want to talk about.
Well, I thought Gomez looked neat when he came on, but it's Kent. It's Ryan Kent. That move down the right hand side where he stands the defender up, little step over and leaves him for dead. And he puts in a lovely cross that Leicester just knocked. They knocked it behind for a corner, but the confidence of the young lad. He's really impressed this pre-season, any chance he's gotten, hasn't he?
Yeah, I've been impressed every time I've seen him. I think the talk is he's going out on loan, but he's signing a new contract. I wouldn't be that hasty. I'd obviously give him the new contract, but I think he's worth a look as a backup and maybe sticking around the squad with the likes of Woodburn and pushing for the place in the 18 if possible. Yeah, it was a fantastic ball he put in, and in fairness, I think it's Simpson puts the ball behind for a corner, and you actually see Sturridge kind of going, shit, I should have been in there, and acknowledges Kent.
Yeah.
You know, as if to say, you know, it was a great ball, my bad kind of thing. But he's so confident, you know. Now, in fairness, one thing I will say is I think he was up against Fuchs, who played from the start and looked out on his feet at the time. But still, you only have to beat what's in front of you, and he bet him well and put a great ball in. And yeah, I don't know. Will he go out on loan? He probably will. But I think he's well worth the look right up to the end of the window anyway, or up until the start of the season, just to see how much he progresses and can he hold his form. There was a few that didn't impress me. I don't know how you feel about it. I thought Solanke was a bit lax on the ball. I think he got into good positions, but he was a bit lax, and I thought Grujic looked a bit off the pace. Flanagan got a run out, but
wasn't that impressed with Woodburn either today, if I'm being honest, the little cameo he played.
I think he was a lot deeper, wasn't he? He kind of went deep and kind of kept it simple. But where the players that you're looking for impact, like if you're looking at Kent on one side, Solanke was on the other, I thought Solanke got into great positions and lost the ball cheaply. So it's something that they'll have to work for or work on. Are they in Germany next week, is it? Have they got to have a little bit of a break before they go back to Germany next weekend, is it?
I'd have to double check, but it's not too long anyway, because they're in Dublin in 2 weeks, so.
Yeah, so it's probably the Asia Cup, or not the Asia Cup, the Audi Cup next weekend, and Dublin the weekend after. Does that sound about right to you?
Yeah, Dublin the weekend of the 5th, I think. So just a week before the season starts. But you know, of the substitutions, it was Gomez and Kent were the two that kind of stood out as having the biggest impact on the game. Look, nobody's expecting everyone to be on form every time they come on. It's great for the players to get these run outs, especially the young lads, and get the minutes under the belt. So we're not slating anybody here. We're just, commenting on the game that we watched, and credit to Gomez and Kent. I think, they did really well today when they came on.
Yeah, Gomez loves a header, doesn't he? He seems to get high up the pitch and win his battles in the air, and it kind of sets Liverpool off sometimes, being able to turn the ball over and get back on it and look forward. And he went right back, and then I think Lovren went off and he went in centre half, looked comfortable in both of them. And as we said, I thought Kent did stand out because he's always looking, he's always bright when he's on the ball, But it's another run out. Look, it's another 45 to 55 minutes probably for most of them, and they can get back to Europe now and have a good week's training and get over to Germany and step up again in class with the teams that are over there.
Win a tournament of this calibre, Gav, surely that puts us in the World Club Championships now, or straight into the Champions League quarterfinals or something, like, now that we've won such a high calibre tournament.
Well, it probably does.
Definitely the Confederations Cup as a minimum.
Well, everyone's in the Confederations Cup, like everyone. But no, look, it's not a trophy. Like, let's be honest about it. We've won a tournament. It's, I know other clubs that win things like this and claim it as a trophy.
Look, it's not a trophy, and if we're being honest, Klopp wouldn't want to be anywhere near Hong Kong at this stage of pre-season. He'd much rather be a lot closer to home, and I think most managers don't like going that far overseas for pre-season, but unfortunately they accept that it's part of the commercial aspects of the club these days, and it has to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you'll see a step up in intensity again in the week's training, and I think you'll start to see a squad kind of shape itself in Germany, and certainly when you get to Dublin, I think you're probably going to see close to what will play against Watford. That's just my opinion. But look, it's all going well. There's no injuries. I think Milner come off for a little bit of a thigh. Was it a thigh strain maybe?
Grujic picked up a bit of a cut, but he's probably had worse shaving, if we're being honest.
Yeah, Grujic is a big lad. Nothing to worry about. So all in all, it was a decent game. It was a win. The lads all have medals and trophies, and it's a decent tour. You've seen a lot of players come on. You've got a better idea of other players. They've all worked on fitness. There's definitely that, because if you can get through 45 to 55 minutes in that sort of conditions, you're doing very well at this stage of the season anyway. And we go again.
The lads
off to
are
Germany
off
next week.
straight to the airport, though, I hear, Gav, from the game. Straight to the airport, from what I can understand after the game. No messing about. Straight to the airport, on a plane, and back home.
Yeah, well, that's probably a good idea. You get back and you acclimatise back into the time that you're going back into.
Well,
And
haven't they
as
been
quick as you
on
can.
what they're calling Melwood time or something?
Yeah, I think they have been. They are somewhere in between Liverpool and Hong Kong.
3 hours, I think. They split the difference, haven't they? They've been 3
Yeah,
hours.
they've done something alongside that. Yeah, I think that's the help for when they get back as well. It's because you know how technical these things can get now with regards to recovery and wherever else. But look, I've no complaints over the tour itself. 2 decent games, and they were decent to watch as well. So
Highlight
all
of
in
the,
all,
highlight of the tour for me, Adam Lallana in the bedroom getting frightened by John Flanagan.
yeah, that was a cracker, wasn't it?
That
It
was
was an
brilliant.
absolute cracker.
I was
Yeah,
expecting, when I seen the clip originally, I thought, oh, here's another Lallana and Hendo pajama party, but
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I thought they were having a sleepover, but no, Flanagan's well known for it. And no, do you know something? I watched a video this morning from LFC TV of the squad trying to make James Milner laugh. Have you seen that?
yeah, and my wife was actually talking about it. And like, she doesn't care less about football, but if she was
Yeah,
talking about it, it must be funny.
yeah, no, it's really, really good. Get on that and have a look at it. It's about 3 minutes long, and some of the stuff the players like come out with is quality. So, but look, we leave it there. Liverpool win. We're all happy. Everyone enjoy our weekends, and we'll be back with you on Monday with the Worldcast. Get on to Grizz's, get on to the People's in the Nose podcast from last night. The Worldcast from last Monday with Graham Kelly is still out there and doing well. The off the cuff from Jordan the Week from the Palace game is there. ARW Weekly is there, and look, you can find everything if you search for us. The Anfield Road Wolves. Have a look up our YouTube channel ARW now. There's some great content on that around Robertson, who's signed, and yeah, there's another player we'll see probably in Germany next week. So look, enjoy our weekends, and we'll see you on Monday. Up the Reds.